Hi there, it's Adam here on behalf of the Women's Rugby Show. Hope everyone's had a great week so far. So last week my co-presenter Bex, she was the one who did our match day predictions. So in preparation for this weekend's round of fixtures, I guess the responsibility now has to lie on my shoulders. So yeah, a lot of pressure, but hopefully I will perform admirably. I think that's the right way of saying it. Anyway. So before we delve into some of the other fixtures, I think there's a few fixtures which we can sort of brush off first and foremost, and I mean no disrespect to some of those teams. I just think some of the fixtures are a bit of a foregone conclusion only because of what our stats have shown us the first half of the season. So I guess the likes of Wasps, who are sitting in fourth place, they've had an odd run of fixtures recently. I think their last 4 games they've won, lost, but the history shows us they haven't beaten anyone above them, but they've beaten teams below them. Firwood, Waterloo, ladies, they sit in 8th. And they've not had a bad record, but they've lost their last game, and I just can't see them winning away from home. Similarly, Saracens, they've won all their games but one in the Tyrrell Premier 15's, and they are at home to 9th place Darlington, and Darlington have, I think they've only won 2 of their games. So for them, again, I think that I believe they've lost their last 5. So I can't see this going anywhere but Saracens. And again, I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but that's just how I see it. So there are 2 games that really stick out for me this weekend, and the first one is 5th against 6th, which is Gloucester-Hartpury against their home against Bristol Bears. Now, Gloucester, they've got an interesting statistic. They're actually the 2nd highest point scorers in the whole of the Tyrrell Premier. Well, I say 2nd highest. I mean, Saracens and Loughborough are joint first. So technically, I guess Gloucester are 3rd. Does that mean? I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, and their last few games, I think they're similar to Wasps, but they've lost one. So I would say they're on a bit of a winning streak, potentially. But they lost this last fixture. Last fixture was 43-5. So they've obviously got a point to prove. They'll want to sort of stave off the threat of Bristol. So, Bristol haven't had a great few games. They've actually lost their last 3, but they have played the first and the 3rd place team, so you can't really blame them. So it's going to be a bit of a tricky one. And I just think the fact that Gloucester got so good at sort of putting points on the board that Gloucester are going to take this one. And then on to, absolutely, this has to be the game of the weekend. It's Harlequin ladies, Harlequin women, who are playing at home against Loughborough Lightning, who have been setting the Tyrrell Premier 15's alight this season. Now, the last game that these two played at sort of towards the start of the season, it was a reverse 41-17 to Loughborough. Now, since that point, Harlequins have won every single game. So they are on a real roll. The last game, I think they knocked 6 tries to win the game. I know that Heather Cowell scored a hat-trick. So they're up against a Loughborough side who we know quite well because we covered them in our first ever episode. They lost their first game in that episode against Saracens. Now, like I said, the reverse fixture, Loughborough put 41 points against Harlequins, but I actually see this fixture being a lot closer. And if I'm going to stick my neck on the line, which I am because that's my job, I'm actually going to go for a Harlequins win. I don't know why. There's something inside of me. I know that Loughborough have got some pretty class players, and I'm sure some of them, obviously, who I know from filming probably won't be too pleased. Maybe this will fuel them on. But I just think that Harlequins are on so much of a roll. They're playing at home, and they've got some really top quality players. So I'm actually going to go for Harlequins for the win. And finally, just before I go, the last game that I will be predicting will be Richmond at home against Worcester Valkyries. We're actually at the game this weekend, so anyone going to that game, do come and see us. Obviously, I'm quite recognisable, and hopefully you'll see my co-presenter Bex there as well, and us with the camera. So do check us out. I do think that, we all know Worcester Valkyries, they haven't put any W's on the points table this season. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen for them this weekend. They've got a great team, but I actually think that they, unfortunately, are going to lose this one again. So there you go. Those are my predictions. Please let us know what you think. Comment below. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow us on social media at Women's Rugby Show.